Usually don't if I'm not doing something specific, but that's okay. Okay, what's up? We're live. If you're watching this not live, then this is not the best content to watch of mine. Just go to the thing below and watch the there's a whole playlist, Illegitimate Scholar, full episodes. That's the best content. Everything else is experimental, to say the least. Yeah. Do you see the thumbnail now? I love the thumbnail. Made it
Nope,
with the
still can't see the thumbnail.
Yeah, you can. You're just not in the right spot. But you can. You got to go to the video in a certain spot. Who's in the comments? Oh, no one. That's okay. Have I said on any podcast episodes a lot, like, or don't, I'm not your dad?
No, I don't think I've ever heard you say it.
Oh, that's a thing I say.
It's a thing you say. I don't think I've ever heard you say it on a podcast or on a YouTube. What's the topic of these videos you want to watch?
Oh, it's a bunch of different things. It's just ones I've been collecting.
Okay.
But let me get a background. I'm going to get a background for us first. I mean, this is for Illegitimate Scholar, but I want to have the background. This is one of the things that I need to have, that I just want to be there. No, and we need an overlay as well. Something I want to do. Damn, look at my big ass face. All right. How do you like that?
That's good. I like that a lot. Fuck yeah.
Maybe I should add the logo to it, though. Oh, hello. Who's ever in the comments? How you doing, buddy? We don't have anything planned. That's not true. We have some things planned.
We got some videos to watch.
Yeah, we do have some videos to watch. Right. Let me get that up. Oops. Okay. Scared the shit out of me. Okay. How to make a documentary for YouTube audience? No, that's not what I want to concentrate on today. Stop it. Okay, this one, let's watch. You see it? Oh,
Nope.
I'm not sharing my screen. Do you hear the audio, though?
No.
Ah! Fuck. Oh, no, never mind. I know exactly what to do now. Okay, we're about to watch a video about making videos go viral. Go ahead and ask questions in the comments if you want about this or anything else. If you're hanging around, whoever that is. I want to do another live stream that people actually care about soon because, you know, that's more fun. Okay, you want to go? You got your notes ready?
Let's go. I'm ready.
Look at this. How does one person create videos explaining everything from
McDonald's ice cream machines
to Venezuela's
Can you hear the
border
audio?
crisis and get
It's not great. It could be a little louder.
what? I mean, Johnny Harris even
How
got
about now?
nominated
for an Emmy, which is like
Good.
It isn't that Johnny Harris is an expert in these topics. It isn't his
What's up,
fancy
Frenchie? How you
animations.
doing, man?
Other people do that and won't go viral. So what is
Frenchie,
it?
could you
Johnny?
tell me if our
My
audio
formula.
versus the video
Formula,
audio is okay?
Visual evidence, then context. And while these two pieces seem simple to use, their viral power comes from Johnny weaving them together in a way that no one else is even attempting to. Here's proof. Step 1. Look at Johnny Harris's Venezuelan border crisis explainer.
millions of people have fled Venezuela.
Step 2. Compare it to this PBS explainer of the same topic and length.
Millions of Venezuelans have fled.
Step 3. Label every section as providing either visual evidence or context. Step 4. Attach a musical note to every context section and a new note to each new piece of visual evidence. Step 5.
Yeah, this is
Listen to
something I
them
would do.
in order. For the PBS piece, you can hear long, droning sections of context and only sparse visual evidence. But in Johnny's video, listen to
So I love the way that he does this because he's talking about like the shifts in these scenes being almost like he puts sounds to them, like the movements, like it's almost a rhythm. Like the video itself is a rhythm. It's a metaphorical rhythm. That's why I wanted to show you. I thought you would really like this one specifically.
I love it.
I know you do. Yeah, I know because I know you. All right, let's keep going.
how the opening section is jammed with varied, repeating visual evidence. Context sections are short and pulse rhythmically between sections of visual evidence. You just experienced Johnny Harris's explanation secret sauce. Visual evidence, then context. Visual evidence, then context. Or, from the audience's perspective, experience it, understand it, experience, understand it. This repeating two-part structure is how he gets millions of views, but it's something that anyone can do. Here's how. Number 1, I experience it. Visual anchors. Look at the first
I almost want this to be the type of style that we use for the introduction to the documentary.
Yes.
And that's kind of what I'm looking at here. But yeah, it's only a few more minutes.
3 minutes of the video, and you'll see these visual anchors. Visual anchors, also known as visual evidence, are
Things that you can point your camera out that exist in the world that show whatever it is you're trying to say. Visual anchors are everything.
in the first 3 minutes of this 8-minute video, everything is just visual anchors. There's no context, no explanation. Why would you give evidence without any context? Well, Johnny Harris knows that understanding something begins with experiencing it on some level. So even without explicit context, good visual anchors, things that are striking and tangible, give us an intuitive sense of the context. But visual anchors are easy to get wrong. Look at this PBS clip.
Economic catastrophe. Inflation is predicted to be 1,000,000%, pulverizing incomes.
If you need proof of how bad this visual is, look at Johnny Harris.
If you need proof of how bad it is in Venezuela right now, look at this purse. This purse is made entirely of the bills of the Venezuelan currency.
Rather than describing abstract pulverized incomes, Johnny makes you look at a purse literally made of what should have been people's incomes. This commitment to pointing his camera and our attention at vivid visuals is so core to Johnny, he gave it his own creative name.
I call it, look at this thing.
These trams.
These donkeys. See this sign, these 100-page
gotta watch this
instruction
guy's
manuals.
video.
This banana.
Yeah.
Talk about a tea
Yes.
bookstore. I'm in a village. A Venezuelan-style hot dog. An ice cream cone. This airport.
This textbook. This army barracks. This is me.
Look at this purse.
Look at the explosive look at this bridge.
Look at how this PBS explainer deferred visual evidence to later in the piece, attempting to establish understanding by having viewers hear about the context. Johnny does the opposite.
When I'm thinking about a story, I'm thinking about what visual anchors are the best, I'm going to put those up front to get them bought in and get them saying like, wow, I understand this thing because I'm looking at these different things.
And once we've seen it, Johnny creates continuity by repeating these visual anchors throughout.
But you can't just have a video or a piece that's just all visual anchors. You need context. If people are going to start to understand this, you need to have a bridge in between them.
Number 2, I understand it. Contextual bridges between visual anchors. These bridge sections are what we traditionally think of as explaining, but they're a minority of the video, and as a rule, always come after visual anchors.
Anchor, bridge is it's my formula.
And here's why his formula works. Visual anchors zoom in to let us experience the topic. Bridges zoom out to fill in the context. Look at how Johnny Harris zooms in to show us visual evidence of economic crisis, then zooms out to answer our curiosity of how that crisis happened, before zooming back in to show us visual evidence of the resulting mass migration. In school,
Honestly,
we're taught
like, I don't know how much you know about this, Dan, or how much Frenchie in the comments you know about this, because this is Latin American history. But like knowing Venezuela and the history of Venezuela and like this glorious history. And I don't know if either of you guys are familiar with Simón Bolivar, but he's like the founding statesman of Latin America. And like and that guy right there a second ago, he's oh, maybe we missed it. Okay, but it was a very quick shot, but like there was a picture of the current president of Venezuela, and then behind him is this portrait of Simón Bolivar, and like, oh my God, how they've fallen, unfortunately, because Simón Bolivar was like this. He was a what's the word for it? Peninsulare? No, not so. Peninsulare referred to somebody who was born in Spain or Portugal, whereas right below that in their ethnic caste system was I think Creole. Maybe Criollo, something like that. But it was like a person born with full European, or they could be up to an 8th native, and they were like the secondary. So it's like this. It was like the last of like it was these countries originally were like expansions of colonialism, more directly. And Simón Bolivar, you know, that you see him and you see what he did, and like his ideas of freedom and everything. Like what an amazing person and amazing historical figure, and to see what's happening to Latin America now is just, and it's not all of Latin America, but you know, Argentina and Venezuela, which both used to be, Argentina more so used to be just amazing places. They're now and unfortunately not, and it sucks. It's bad for all of the Americas, unfortunately, but yeah.
To explain using context than evidence. But Anchor Bridge is the reverse of that. And it's this reversal that enables Johnny Harris to command our attention so well.
They're like, what is this? And then they will sit through 4 minutes of history and context.
Listen to Johnny Harris's piece again, and you'll hear Johnny making us look at this thing relentlessly until we're hungry for context that bridges us directly to the next piece of visual evidence. And how, like a character in a story, visual anchors repeat again and again. It shows Johnny Harris's skill. But it also reveals a deeper truth for anyone seeking to convey knowledge. That good explanation doesn't start up in our head, but rather rests on a body of vivid experience. The story of this video begins with a rant by this creative powerhouse, Michelle.
Nerd. This guy looks, oh God.
Don't be a bully.
Right.
No, I love that, dude. That was cool. The visual anchors, the contextual
it was.
information, using it as a bridge. Love it.
Let's this is one on thumbnails. I don't know if you're interested in that.
Yeah.
This right here was a video about Jimmy Buffett that I wanted to look at to see how it was successful and what we could learn from. And then this one is, I added this. I watched every Mr. Beast video interview, and I've seen everyone as well. Which one of these would you like to see?
I can't see either of them, but the first one sounded interesting. Although I do want to watch the second one. Let's just watch them both.
Okay. The Dark Secret to Viral Thumbnails. That's what you're talking about?
Yes, let's watch that one.
Okay.
Should we hey, how about this? Let's watch the first one now. I'm gonna shoot Kenny a message and see if he wants to watch that other one as well, if you're cool with that. Because that's what he's looking into as well as thumbnails.
Let's just invite Kenny in here.
Okay.
I'll send him the link. He's not on.
I shot him a text. Maybe he's
Okay.
around, maybe he's not. But yeah, let's
Well,
watch this one.
You want to watch this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blow up in one video using the easiest method that I came up with. I don't know why people haven't figured this out yet, but today I'm going to show you the real way to make a viral YouTube thumbnail that'll actually explode your channel. Look at my channel, for example. This picture of a fucking cartoon frog gained me over 80,000 plus views in just one video, and I'll show you exactly how you can make that one simple adjustment to your thumbnail that will finally blow up your channel, so take notes. A shitty but eye-catching thumbnail will always get you more views than a cleanly edited but generic thumbnail. The people who understand this are dangerous on YouTube for a very simple but life-changing reason. Just look at finance YouTubers, specifically the grow on YouTube niche. They all have the same thumbnails, same titles, and same videos. And
this is something that I've been noticing, is that like a lot of times, you know, that people point out the like how. Hey, Kenny.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, I'm driving right now.
Okay, that's all right.
Hello,
When
Kenny.
you going to be able to join?
Probably not. Later, yes. There's a chance. What time we talking later? Give me stat. Give me S time. Give me S time.
Well, we're live right now, just so you know.
Give me
I mean,
EST, baby. EST. What's EST? Oh, okay. Oh, estimated time. Yeah. All right, everybody all together. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Bro.
Just leave your kids at daycare, dude. This is bigger.
Dude, I know they literally close at 5:30. I don't know why I pick them up. Well, I don't know why I love them so much, bro. I need to just leave them there until like 5:30.
If you have some time later and you want to do a joint stream on some history game, we should do that. But right now we're like watching like YouTube and marketing.
Oh,
And, like,
I'm so
how to make
sorry.
Thumbnails and stuff. That's
Oh,
why
I'm so sorry.
we were-
No, I'm not.
No, don't be sorry.
I don't know why you're
reaching out to you
sorry.
because
I
we know
wasn't-
that you're
not what I was
interested in thumbnails as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, since you can't watch the videos right now because you're driving, we'll text me later. But I'll be around pretty much all night.
Okay. Well, I see the stream right now. I just have my camera turned off.
Okay. Well, yeah, just mute your mic then because it's giving a little feedback, and just watch it with us if you want.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. All right.
That's why 99% of them get no views, because they don't catch the eye of the viewer. Here's an example. If you saw an alien right now, it would immediately catch your eye, and you would be extremely interested in this said alien and would want to know more. It's because you've never seen one in your life before, right? But if you and I saw aliens every single day, it would just be a normal occurrence to see aliens on a daily basis. This is exactly the same as seeing the same kind of thumbnails on YouTube. They just don't catch your eye. But the successful channels like mine and my Patreon members that stick out and are alien will immediately catch your eye, just like the alien analogy I explained earlier. So start being an alien and start courting attention to your videos by utilizing unique thumbnails. Trust me, they do not need to be clean. Now that we have an alien-like thumbnail, I have to warn you about this. Just because you're being unique doesn't mean you have to put in 1,000 elements in your thumbnail. Less is more. The human eye can only handle so much information, and if your thumbnail is overcrowded and convoluted, your potential viewers/customers will end up just not clicking on your video because there's no clear message within your thumbnail. So if you're a beginner, I'd recommend sticking to a maximum of these 4 elements in your thumbnail. Your background, which shouldn't be too distracting. It should be a little bland to make the main image pop out. A main image, this is going to be an image that shocks the viewer and makes them interested in the video. Be weird, be wacky, be like an alien. Secondary pointers, this could be an arrow, a circle that highlights something within your main image, etc. And last, but in my opinion, least is text. The less text, the better in my experience. Just look at my most popular video. It got 80,000 plus views with a picture of a fucking frog and some YouTube analytics. Hence why I say a shitty thumbnail is infinitely better than a generic but good looking thumbnail. If you've taken down notes and used my tips, you're ahead of the curve. But there's something important that you should know. YouTube is essentially a numbers game, so you need to make multiple thumbnails. You need to be constantly testing. When you have a new video fresh out the oven ready to upload, do this to double and even triple your success chance. Make at least 4 to 5 completely different thumbnails, I'm telling you right now, and test them with your title on thumbsup.tv. Screenshot each thumbnail and title and ask around and see which one people like the best. Ask people on Discord, Reddit, your friends, etc., and try to get their unbiased feedback. It's even better if they don't know it's your video. That way you'll get a more honest answer. So ask around and split test your thumbnails before uploading your video. Look at the difference between these two thumbnails from one of my Patreon members I do one-on-one consultings with. This one got no views at all, but this one that I made for him got 2,000 views. Let's look at another example from another one of my VIP members. He has great videos, but terrible thumbnails. He went from 20 to 40 views with these thumbnails to 6.5K views on this video and 3.1K views on this video, and he's steadily growing his channel and is on his way to getting monetized. And the best part is these were simple fixes. All you need to do is slightly become an anomaly or alien, for lack of better terms. If you need help with thumbnails, book a consultation with me. You won't regret it. But look, the truest definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. All you're doing is wasting valuable time that could be used spending time with friends, family, or doubling down and making more viral videos with my tips. If you keep doing the same thing, I can't stress this enough, you are slowly killing your chances of blowing up on YouTube and making real online money. It's possible to make a living online, on YouTube, or any other business venture you get into. Just make sure you're not doing the same thing over and over again. Be brave and try new things. You lose literally nothing by doing this, and you have everything to gain. If you're smart, you'll book a consultation with me and I'll get you right. So if you want me to help you grow your YouTube channel, definitely check out my VIP section on
something that's very smart, which is in the video, he's then promoting a relevant, more expensive course, which
Patreon
is great, but this video is over. Yeah, so that's cool, right?
That's badass, dude.
Okay.
I broke it down like this and I thought it was cool. He said he said 4 elements: background, main, secondary, and text. But when I looked at a lot of the thumbnails, something I've seen is the background is something you know, right? I've seen people use Chick-fil-A. He used Temu or whatever the name of the website is. And then something you don't, right? So aliens, or I don't know, someone with a bag of money. Like I don't know what that is in that context. So he creates an entirely new context with something you know and something you don't.
Yeah. Okay. Sick. Okay. Let's shoot over. You want to do the long form Mr. Beast video?
Yes, would love that.
27 minutes on this chick talking about all the Mr. Beast interviews. There's been several, so
is ridiculously transparent in interviews.
And this is great. Here, just for like her making this video, right? So number one, look at her thumbnail over here. This is vidIQ that I have, which is a service. Your videos suck. Like that's a direct quote from him. I've heard it. And the pointing, this is a great thumbnail. And then the way that she structured this, she was able to, she took using free use. She took videos of Mr. Beast, who's highly recognizable, the most searched thing on YouTube, literally. Sorry, I was just responding in the comments. Yeah, I like the ones with Wojaks too, but they often don't get as many views. I like to include them, but it depends. I try to. It just depends on the video. But those are my favorites. So I'd like to find a way to do them. But if they don't work the best, then I'm not. So Mr. Beast here, like she's able to, off of his name and like people wanting like information from him, like this grabs your attention. Your videos suck. And then in combination with the title, I watched every Mr. Beast video. Okay. So she's saying she watched every Mr. Beast video. Here's his YouTube advice. So she's able to make off of this. Yeah, I love the Oliver Anthony Pepe as well. But she's able to make like off of this, she gets these key searches with the name Mr. Beast and with like people wanting his YouTube advice. And because of free use, she's able to really boost her credibility by using his name to get it out there. And then like people recognize Mr. Beast. They know Mr. Beast. They know he gives good advice. But not everybody wants to watch a 3-hour long conversation with Colin and Samir, which is what this one is from, one that I've watched the whole thing of, or with Flagrant. So what she did is she selected the best information and then she commentated on it and fit it into a space. So she created a very, very high value product with this that's highly recognizable with good keywords. I mean, it's a genius thing. It has 24,000 views. I already hear the audio quality. She needs better audio quality. That would be one thing that would really help her out. It's kind of crazy that she's this good at this, and then she has that lack of audio quality. But yeah, so let's.
Her opening line though is fantastic. What she opens this with, she said, "He's ridiculously transparent." She starts out with something that endears him even more to the audience that she already knows loves him, right? And she sucks them right into the video. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so let's actually pay attention to that, because the first 30 seconds, look, the intro, literally 33 seconds. Okay, so let's watch this whole thing as it is.
Mr. Beast is ridiculously transparent in
Mr. Beast is ridiculously transparent. That's the first
interviews.
3 seconds.
I'll literally come on here and tell you guys every little thing I know about getting views on YouTube. And I know thousands, tens of thousands of creators have watched those, and literally, that's the reason why they're making $10,000+ a month, because they're just like, oh, Jimmy just literally laid it out. I just followed it.
So
See, I would have. This is great that it does that. What?
Yeah. That was too long.
She needed to cut that down a little bit more, and I bet this video would do even better. I love that I'm recognizing this stuff, because I feel like it's like the stuff that I applied in the most recent video was really well. But yeah, she needs to cut that down a little bit. But honestly, she doesn't, because she already did so well. And I think other details of the video she did with such a good job. So
of course,
let's continue.
Over as many Mr. Beast interviews as I possibly could, and I ended up with a lot of notes. And I mean a lot of notes to save you the time of doing all that.
All the music, cutting to her. She's in the center. She's well lit in this shot. She's centered in it. Good job. She could have done her hair a little bit better, but that's all right.
I compiled Mr. Beast's top advice into 8 categories.
Did you hear the sound effects with the 8 rows, right?
Your seatbelts, and let's dive in. We'll start at the beginning with ideation. How do you come up with good video ideas? One thing that Mr. Beast has mentioned time and time again is that he works best off of inspiration.
I work very well off of inspiration.
Where does he get his inspiration? Mr. Beast has tried things like flipping to a random page in a dictionary or using a random word generator.
Dude, she's doing it so well. I'm so surprised that she let that 14-second clip go in the very beginning.
She must have really felt like it was important for some reason. Her background,
it wasn't, right?
Either.
Yeah.
I don't think it was, no.
Yeah. Welcome to everyone joining. We're just me and Dan and Kenny, Jurassic Poppy. We're working on some personal development stuff. So we're talking about YouTube right now. Meta YouTube. Thanks for coming. Feel free to ask any questions you want in the comment if you have a question about like an anthropology thing or about any of this.
Generator to find a word. After he has a word, he'll start coming up with ideas. Watch this in action here.
Give me any word. I don't know. Make a relative space. Yeah, like I went to space. What happens if you blow up a nuke in space? Or I went to the moon. I went to Mars. Right? Because you said that one word, it was able to inspire me to come up with 4 ideas.
This works well for a while, but Mr. Beast cautions against relying on it. Because at a certain point, no matter how many random words you're looking at, you're still drawing inspiration from that same base of knowledge. And that becomes dangerous when you start getting the same ideas over and over again. To mitigate this, Mr. Beast is very intentional about his information diet. Watch him talk about it.
This woman's a genius.
My well of knowledge needs to constantly be expanding, so I have more things to draw inspiration from our ideas. If not, you're going to get the same ideas over and over again. So it happens for a lot of creators. That's why their videos are repetitive and always the same thing. Because if you're not constantly learning new things, then your ideas are just limited to what's in your head, and eventually you're going to drain it. That's how I've seen it. It's not so linear. Point is, I need to always be taking things. So I have a team of people who are just helping.
Comedians will tell you this too.
Beat new things in my head so I can get inspired.
Mr. Beast has a whole team of people to teach him things, but if you're anything like me, you're out here doing this solo. That's fine. There are plenty of ways to keep teaching yourself new things, from keeping up with trends to following interesting Twitter and YouTube accounts. In order to apply Mr. Beast's video ideation framework, what matters is that instead of just scrolling through videos mindlessly, you set aside time to consume content with the intention to learn. So you're learning new things, you're getting inspired, and you're coming up with ideas. Great. But once you have your list of ideas, how do you know if they're good? According to Mr. Beast, any video idea can go viral as long as it's
Babe,
to the audience.
you mind if I get a shower?
Just good is a little broad, but thankfully
get
Mr. Beast goes into more detail when he compares the idea of first to win a race wins 100 grand with the idea of first to climb a mountain wins 100 grand.
Meatloaf.
Running a race is like, people have done that. It's like generic, it's whatever. But like first to climb a mountain and like a thumbnail of someone climbing the side of a mountain and the thought of someone climbing a mountain is extreme. Like that's adrenaline. It's interesting. Like
To me, climbing a mountain is more interesting than running a marathon.
Mr. Beast mentions similar criteria in other interviews as well. When he looks for good ideas, he looks for ideas that are original, that no one's done before, that are interesting to his audience, and that are extreme. Once Mr. Beast has picked an idea, instead of jumping straight into creating the video, he spends hundreds of hours. Yes, hundreds of hours first thinking about the packaging. Yep, I'm talking about title and thumbnail. We'll start with titles. I'll let Mr. Beast take it away here because what he has to say about titles is pure genius.
What makes for a good title? Short?
Not just short. It's also, I mean, if someone reads it, are they like, do they have to watch it? Is it just so intrinsically interesting that it's just gonna with them if they don't click on it?
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's the genius thing. Like, that is really what it is. Like, someone sees it. Like, there are videos I see on YouTube that I'm like, sometimes I'll go to YouTube for like a different type of video that I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch like a Loki breakdown video or something. And then I'll see a video on the homepage and I'm like, oh, I got to watch this one right now. Yeah.
Yes, I have literally an entire playlist of videos like that.
Yeah. Sometimes I just add them to watch later and then I'll find them later and I'm like, oh yeah, I get to watch this. Yeah. That's what I want.
Really, it's a title also that, because the titles don't live in a vacuum, right? So it has to lead into the content. So ideally,
speaking of that, if you got any topic ideas, this fat acceptance episode that did so well on YouTube, which was awesome. That video, 2,400 views in a few days, which is my biggest one ever, which is fantastic. But that idea actually came from one of my Patreon guys. So if you have any video ideas for me, whether you're in the Patreon or not, I don't really care. By the way, it's $2 right now. I haven't done a lot with it, but I'm going to do a little bit more soon. But it's only $2. So if you have any ideas, please give them to me in the comments. I would really appreciate it, or on the Discord anytime.
The title represents content that you would want to watch for 20 minutes. So if it's a 20-minute video and the title is "I stepped on a bug," it's not gonna, because it's all of it combined. The click-through rate is going to be much lower. And then if it was like a 5-second video, people might click it. So you gotta, like, even nuances of the length of the video based against the title will affect whether people want to click it, because sometimes they just don't add up. I mean, it's that, yes, ideally you want it below 50 characters, because above 50 characters on certain devices, you run the chance of it going ... So like, I took a light pole and I saw how many dollar bills I could stack on top, and they would just go ... because it's too long and it can't finish it. And that's the worst thing, because then people don't even know what they're clicking on. And so it's going to do even worse. Short, simple, ideally, and just so freaking interesting they have to click. And it is a good segue into the content, and it represents the length of the content.
You need something original. How to go viral is probably, it's not something like super original. You need a really strong opinion, probably. Like, you need to say like what you're saying is like, I like bananas, and what you need is bananas are the best goddamn food on the planet. Like, that's the type of opinion you need. Like, you need
5 till midnight
like,
listeners
how
know
to get 100 million
bananas
views on YouTube, or not even that. That's not strong enough. You need something that makes people go, what the fuck? And like click. You know what I mean?
This man is genius. And the concept of the titles
she's
is
also
so
a genius.
interesting that
She's a
people
genius.
literally can't stop thinking about it. That they daydream about it later and think, God, I really need to know what happened.
And look at her facial expressions, use of her hands. This is very important.
Very
she's
animated.
expressing herself very well.
In order to make titles like
it's not
Mr.
innovative.
Beast,
It's very
the titles need
standard,
to
but
be
she's doing it
extreme, they need to be
extraordinarily
interesting
well.
to their audience,
And she's
they
a
need to be
gorgeous young
representative
woman
of the
too.
video.
Animated,
And they need to be
animated, not
short enough so that they're under 50 characters
Animated,
to avoid the dreaded ... on some devices. Hey, I'm still working on my titles. Sorry, Jimmy. After Mr. Beast has his title, he'll turn his attention to thumbnails.
It's a
And this
redneck-ass
topic is
name on an
one
Asian
that's
woman.
a lot harder to talk about. Mr.
Ish?
Beast often says that asking, how do you make a good thumbnail,
Lynn,
is
if you're
similar
single,
to
hit me up.
asking, how do you cook good food? Because there are a ton of different
Trying to get a
factors, and a lot of it
YouTuber
depends
family
on the
here.
specific video or thumbnail. So instead of talking generically about thumbnail advice as a whole, Mr. Beast often asks to roast individual thumbnails instead. Here's an example.
One of my friends, he just uploaded a video recently, and I called him. I was like, "What is this?" Because he's a very, very smart guy. And in the thumbnail, he's he's getting chased by cops, but the cops were wearing yellow vests, so they didn't look like cops. I was like, "Well, why are
It's called
cops
being Asian,
wearing
Frenchie.
yellow vests?" It's like that makes it so much more boring. And he was like carrying a flag, but the pole and the color of the flag were the same color, so it's like it's a little harder to see the flag. I was like, also, you're wearing like a shirt with like 5 different colors, like so it's like it's hard to tell what your outline is. And then in the background there were cars, and I was like, well, if you have cops chasing you, why not make the cars cop cars. And, and it's like, because in my head, I'm like, dang, if you just did those like 4 or 5 things, the video probably would have got like 7x the views.
From that analysis, we can pick up a couple of key thumbnail takeaways. Every element of your thumbnail should be
She has a lot
without
of
blurring into each other or getting lost.
mascara
And every
on. I think that's what
component
it
of
is.
your
Her
thumbnail
eyes do
should
look
be there
weird.
for a reason and add to the story that you're trying to convey. And while Mr. Beast didn't like talking about thumbnail advice more generally,
She might be half
after watching
white.
interview after
She's got some
interview
big eyes.
after interview,
Or
I was able
Filipino.
to compile some more
But
general
Filipino
thumbnail-related
often
advice
just
we
means
had.
half white.
According to Mr. Beast,
And also
your
Southeast
thumbnail
Asians,
should work with your
they
title
have
to
less
set
of the eye
expectations for
thing.
your video,
They have
effectively
larger
get the
eyes.
viewer to feel some sort of
That's what
emotion,
I heard.
curiosity.
But I gotta stop for this. This is a cultural thing.
Asian eye tangent.
So the Asian eye fold, as it's known, which is slightly different in different places, that's actually rooted in the Gobi Desert. And this trait, you can also see it in some people in the Nordic countries, but it came across it came separately. It was developed separately in 2 different areas, at least 2 different areas in the north of Europe and Central Asia, and then in the Gobi Desert. And it happened up with the Inuit as well a little bit, but like people up there, they were more they are more slitted because of the sun. But with the Asians, it was because of in Asia, in the Gobi Desert, that development came out because of the sand and in the Gobi Desert. But it basically the same result.
Over
but
what
no,
time period do they think this happened?
Tens of thousands of years, probably. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, the dates, I would have to look at it again. I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah, this woman, yeah, she actually does look Filipino. She could be mixed white in something. I mean, I'm interested because I'm interested in that type of stuff, but who knows? But yeah, she definitely looks part white and part Asian.
Be all surprise, etc. Be clear and simple with not much clutter. Be brighter as opposed
I don't
to
want to
darker.
objectify her, but I
And
think she's
have the
adorable.
ability where if someone is scrolling through their homepage and comes across your
I
video,
shouldn't say this.
you're
I'm
able
like
to
watching her
instantly
video,
understand
like
the concept you're trying to convey.
But
And
she's
if
a
you want
genius.
to make titles and thumbnails like Mr. Beast, make them before you even film the video. Mr. Beast explains why.
Good advice we
here.
see
We
everywhere.
usually sketch out the thumbnails. Actually, Chucky's somewhere in here. He does it for me. We sketch out the thumbnails beforehand to kind of see if we like it. Like one of our upcoming videos, we're gonna have people put their hand on a jet, and then last take it off keeps it. And so it's like funny doing the little sketches of it, like because we're trying to figure out how do you show a jet, but also like show people because people are small and you got to be able to see them. So we just get it where it's like, okay, this is good. Because a lot of people do the inverse. They film the video and then they realize, oh, I don't like the thumbnail, but you're in too deep. You already filmed the video. So you kind of just, have to make do. Or I'd rather have that existential crisis before I film the video. That way I can make changes.
But sometimes making changes still isn't good enough. In those cases, well, I'll let him tell you.
It seems like you would literally potentially shut down a video just because you can't come up with a good title.
Yeah,
or
100%,
a good thumbnail.
or a thumbnail. Yeah, I mean that's what happened to 70% of those in that pitch session. I was just like, oh, what was one of them? Genius versus 100 people, or
yeah, like maybe average intelligence versus genius, or something like that. Or
yeah, I was like, what the heck is the thumbnail? Even if the title was good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many, but yeah, if people don't click, they don't watch.
After Mr. Beast has his video idea and
don't
his
click, they
title
don't
and
watch.
thumbnail set, that's when he'll start working on the video itself. And when it comes to making videos, those first 30 seconds are make or break. So let's talk about how Mr. Beast approaches hooks. I know you know that hooks are important, but in a good number of his interviews, Mr. Beast takes the time to drill in that point even harder. So listen to the man.
Everyone knows the basics. You hook people at the beginning, but we really should drill this home because, like, if you look at any of your retention charts on any videos, you're losing like 30% of your viewers in the first 30 seconds. And then hopefully if your videos don't suck, they level off. But like, imagine if you only lost 15% of those viewers or 10%, like the number one thing is like retaining as many people as possible at the start. Because like envision a chart where you lose 35% of your viewers in the first 30 seconds, and then envision one where you only lose 20%. That's 15% more people that are watching, throughout the video than not. And it's not like you made the whole video like a bunch better. You just had a more strategic intro that hooked them. I'm struggling to put this into words and like to really impose how important that is, but like that 15% difference in viewership
really does make the difference between hypothetically like 2 million views on a video and like 10 in my head.
In that interview, Mr. Beast talked about the importance of hooks as it related to retention. But now, with the
this
adoption
video
of
is
YouTube's
formatted
autoplay
amazing.
feature, hooks are playing a more
Like, this is so great because this video is not only like it's not only good content for us to watch to learn from, but it's also great content in itself in a meta perspective of how to make YouTube videos.
It's prioritized well, right? Like this is
It is
almost the steps
right
to improving your videos.
Yeah, but the execution of the video itself is what I'm saying.
I see.
So it's yeah, but I mean this is step by step. It is right because it's ideas and then titles and then thumbnails, hooks, which is going into the intro, retention, YouTube ad. Okay, after this it's not, but basically all of this is like in the order, and then retention is basically body. So that's body, and then this is like this is post because it's YouTube algorithm. It has to do with like the tags and everything, and then whatever this means.
crucial role in click-through rate as well. Mr. Beast explains why here.
I heard you guys talking about autoplay on YouTube, and I've never considered it. I've always thought about the thumbnail, but now on YouTube, videos automatically play.
Yeah, here, let me show you the autoplay for one of my videos.
This is crucial as well.
This is how seriously we take it. Look at this shot.
The first shot has to be amazing.
This
and
is just
movement
the
in the first 3 to 5 seconds.
Next video.
And cuts in that first 30 seconds.
We
cuts
saw
in
this.
speaking, cuts in movement, sounds, things like that. And I only implemented some of those in the last video, and it still did very well.
Got it.
For my standards. I mean, 2300 is
on
not.
your phone is the autoplay.
Yeah, because that's what's gonna play.
It's the first 5 seconds.
Exactly. Like,
and you make sure the first 5 seconds looks like the thumbnail.
Of course. So before you film a video, what is the thumbnail? What is the video? And then what's the first 5 seconds? And then what's the first 30 seconds? You know, by the first.
Sorry, I need to pee. Be right back. Time me 1 minute.
Okay.
First 5 seconds is like goes with the thumbnail.
Say hi to JC.
Because
Did
it's
you say hi to
possible that
JC?
People open YouTube and they
Hi,
don't see-
JC.
Especially for us, because like for so many people
Oh my
I watch
gosh.
different
Hi,
videos
JC.
when I upload, I am first on your homepage. So like you
JC's
just literally
everywhere,
don't
dude.
even see the thumbnail because the autoplay is so cool.
I was watching somebody's stream last night. JC, whose stream was that? It was some random stream. There was like 9 people. Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland. There was some fucking. We were in a stream last night, and I'm just commenting, and JC shows up. Oh my god, hi Sam! Like I was laughing my ass off about it every time. Dude,
He's so consistent with it. I love it.
I know. Yeah, even JC forgot too. It wasn't the freaking Nephilim Death Squad, was it? Shout out to the homies Top Lobster and oh god, I forget his name. But the Nephilim guy, freaking whatever. All right, let's keep going
quickly. So like the thumbnail is irrelevant. I have to like visually convince you to click on the video.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah, that's
Raven,
why we go so
something
hardcore.
Raven.
Dude, that's so crazy. So do you consider also captions in those first 5 seconds?
Of course,
aren't
all
watching with audio.
everything, everything. Yes, 100%.
Wow. So those first 5 seconds, that hook is now even more important than it ever used to be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, before it was important because you had to convince people to watch.
Yeah.
Now you have to convince people to click and watch at the same time.
Whoa.
With the first 5
So
seconds.
that's driving CTR now too.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is 100%.
Wow.
So hooks are not only meaningful, but they are now more important than ever. No pressure.
So, just as a thing of like right now we're talking about YouTube advice. So Dan and Kenny, for your benefit, and for everyone else if they care about this, I guess. If you're watching just to hang out, I digress. So this is something that I do often. Like when I have a lot of friends that are podcasters, I enjoy talking to these guys a lot. And even if they're not my friends, if it's like somebody that I want to become friends with, I'll people appreciate when you like promote their content, and I like to promote other people's content to my audience. It helps us both out. It's free. I spend a lot of time on Twitter. So what I'll do is like when the good old boys are going to have a stream and I'm going to be in there, I'll share on my Twitter. I'll share the stream link and I'll say like, oh yeah, like come join me shit posting in the comment section or whatever. And I did that with the good old boys a couple nights ago. And I did it with the Nephilim Death Squad guys as well. And I'll share that. And then, you know, I enjoy that. And then I know some of the people in the comments, and then it increases the connection with other shows and people I want to work with. And then often they'll share it, and then that gets me more impressions and attention. So that type of stuff is like, it's free. It helps you out. It helps them out. Everybody loves doing it. I don't know why people don't do it more. I guess they just don't think about it. They don't want to, like, sometimes I'm worried about being perceived as, you know, like, you know, being fake or whatever, but it's not. And no one ever takes it that way. So, you know, it's good thing to do. It makes me feel good. It makes me enjoy what I'm doing. And that's what the new channel we're launching is about entrepreneurship to spend your life doing what you want to do. Spend your life like not entrepreneurship for an end goal, but doing entrepreneurship to live the life that you want to live every day. And that's what I'm going to be like. I'm going on a bear hunt next week, going to be recording some great content for you guys that I'm sure everyone will love, concentrating on like the culture of bear hunting. I'm getting into some customs in it and everything, and I'm actually going to go on the bear hunt. So I get to do that. And I get to expense like I'm driving down there. It's my job. Like I expense it to my company. I get to reduce the taxes on it, and I get to do exactly what I want. It's awesome. But yeah, keep going unless you got something to say.
Go. Let's go.
To help us out, Mr. Beast was kind enough to lay out his top advice for hooks. Check it out.
Essentially, your title and thumbnail set expectations. And at the very beginning of the video, to minimize drop-off, you want to assure them that those expectations are being met. If you click on a video where, you know, of his, where it's like, Tether is a scam, and then at the very beginning, he starts talking about literally anything else, then you are like, oh, this is bullshit. This isn't what I clicked on. But if at the very start of the video, you go, Tether is a scam, and I'm going to teach you why, then it's like, okay, you match the expectations. So at the very beginning, match the expectations, and then you want to exceed them. So you want to assure people that what they clicked on is what they're getting.
And what happened in the past is that people would make like clickbait titles, right? And then they wouldn't. You want to have clickbait titles, but not in the sense of like a bait and switch. You want to have clickbait titles that you follow through on it, because you want to follow through the end, like through the intro and then through the body. You want to be coming back to that main premise, coming back to it, just as you would in like an essay.
Well, it was different before they changed the way that they track analytics, right? Like now that's how you lower actual retention.
Which a lot of people, sometimes it takes.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I shouldn't have played it.
Never mind. You're fine. Go on.
20 seconds to really meet the expectations. And so you lose, like, that's where you're going to lose everyone. Everyone's videos start like this, and then it levels off. So you want to reduce the amount of people that click off on the audience retention graph.
So for Mr. Beast approved hook in the first seconds of your videos, don't just match the expectations of your title and thumbnail, but exceed those expectations. And don't take.
So I think that's key, actually. I think that's key, because you would expect to just match them. But if you lower the expectations of the title and the thumbnail, then you always exceed it. So then people are always like, oh, but you know, we'll see. I just want to remember that idea.
Too long while you do it, and don't leave in any fluff. Take a look at an example here.
After we hung out yesterday, I went back and watched the FBI video, and I watched the first 40 seconds. And I was sitting with Colin, showing him like a lot of what we talked about. I was seeing in those first 40 seconds, and I was like, "You really do all of those things." And those first 40 seconds were so jam packed, and you introduced so many new things, like so much new stuff between both the visuals too. I mean, even the concept that you say in the first 40 seconds. First of all, the visuals are already changing, but you also say there's an NFL stadium, there's a private jet, and there's a maze.
This is why you should watch the video.
Yeah.
See these things. Yeah. And like the thing people undervalue the most is literally the first 10 seconds of the video. Like, I think I can quote it. I tied up an FBI agent, and I have $100,000 in this bag. Here's a knife. Good luck. And I just run away. Like, it gives you everything you need. No wasted words, short, concise, and then tension.
Across more of his interviews, Mr. Beast also mentioned that hooks with brighter lighting tended to do better than hooks with darker lighting, and that the more cuts, clips, or camera angles that you could include in the first 30 seconds, the better. But unfortunately, the work doesn't stop there, because after the hook comes the rest of the video. And for that, we're going to have to take a look at retention. One of the most viral clips from Mr. Beast's interview came from a conversation around retention. Check it out.
But actually, you know how we were talking about Dylan
Dude,
earlier?
this whole interview, Colin and Samir, We should actually
"I'm
watch
getting
it
close
together.
to
It's from a year or
70%.
two
I'm
ago.
almost
I've
a
watched it.
decent YouTuber." He
Oh,
sent me
we've
a
watched
graph
it together.
Where his new video had 65% retention.
Oh wow!
Because I told him if he doesn't
Yeah.
get 70% retention on a video, then he didn't do something right.
Wow, I don't even want to pull up our retention.
Yeah.
70%.
Yeah.
That's what you need. If it's below that, figure out how to get higher.
You heard the man. If you want a Mr. Beast approved video, you need to reach 70% retention. How do you get to 70% retention? Here's some of Mr. Beast's top retention advice.
Basically, want to remove every dull moment. You probably want to find the 10
So I just want you to know right now, especially because I've been making the YouTube videos for a while, but you haven't. I would like right now. Yes, we're gonna watch this retention part, but I would concentrate the most on all this other stuff because this is enough already. Like titles, thumbnails,
ridiculous.
hooks. That's enough. And if you get the first 30 seconds good, the rest of the video is much less important. The first 30 seconds is the most bang for your buck. Title, thumbnail, first 30 seconds. If you put 90% of your energy into there and then a tiny bit in the rest of the video, it's going to do way better than like if you put 50% of your effort into the body. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That comes with time. That will come with time naturally. But the intro, this is the stuff that you really need. Like that first 30 seconds, title and thumbnail. Those three details are, for the amount of time that they are like, that's 80-90% of what you need to be concentrating on, because like everything else comes from that, right? And if you have that down really well, the body will come very, very easily because your idea is so expressed. And naturally, with coming to the idea, that's where you do your background research. Maybe you do some more afterwards, but ideally you would have a lot of sources already there. It depends on your workflow, but this is what it would be in like, I often, my workflow matches the workflow of, the historiographic workflow that I learned in undergrad. It matches the workflow that I, as a historian's craft type of thing. Like how okay, Adam Nutter's here.
I don't understand that.
Oh, what? I'm gonna wait to let. What I mean it here. I'm gonna let Adam in. What's up, Adam?
Hey, Sam. Some of us are at the gym, bettering ourselves, getting stronger, and you're streaming like a little fucking.
I'm bettering myself. We're watching information right here, bro. We're watching every Mr. Beast interview to get good at YouTube. Oh my god, look at this.
Look at that shit. Look at that shit. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing? Nothing. Wasting time is what you're doing.
At YouTube.
You're sucking down bananas.
Subscribers you got? How many subscribers does Cult of Us YouTube have?
I don't know. That many.
See, of course you don't know. You're spending too much time on your body. 38 years old. You look like a fucking Greek god, but you're.
I'm 30. Sucks. I'm 36, almost 37. How dare you?
Yeah,
don't age me up.
That.
You
look
fucking
at that.
bitch.
I'll take that. That's all right.
That
and
looks like. That looks like
I'll
it's full of.
That with everything else.
That looks like it's full of bananas and dudes cum. That's what that muscle looks like it's filled with.
5 bananas a day. JC says we're exercising our brains, and he's right.
It shows it. It shows it. You're exercising. Yeah, you're exercising one muscle. It's a cock in your ass. That's the muscle you're exercising.
Christ. All right, everyone, check out Adam Nutter on the Cult of Us and on his own YouTube, and in Philly for live comedy. And 5
this Friday, 2 shows. Yeah. This Friday, 2 shows. Myers Brewing Company, 7:30, 9 o'clock.
On the
check it out, Philly. Philly.
Yes,
love
Philly.
You.
He also loves the Eagles.
Yes, I don't. I hate the Eagles. I'm a Giants fan. Ride or die for life. I hate you, and I hate the Eagles. Let's go, Jay. Let's go, G, man. Look at that. One more time. One more time. All right. Bye.
All right. Later, man. Yeah, and 5 till Midnight is a comedy podcast, loosely current events that I do Monday nights at 8 p.m. with Adam Nutter. And then the guys from Biting the Bullet, Luke and Typo, and Kyle Matovchik in Liberty and Health. All right, but let's continue after that frat boy interruption. That guy's he used to be a cop, okay, and a UFC fighter, and now he makes a podcast with me. So how the mighty have fallen.
Dude, what the fuck? Those are all very different things.
I know, right? I know. He's a huge libertarian. Yeah, he's actually Adam Nutter has been on Louis J. Gomez's podcast. I mean, he's a legit comedian. You know, he's not like working with Joe Rogan, but he's a real comedian. He does it full time. Continue.
Well, I mean, we can talk about what we watched so far.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, what do you have to say?
It doesn't seem to make sense to really focus on the rest of it right now. We can. I don't care, but it's up to you.
I mean, I guess it depends on like the way that I consume information sometimes is like seeing like all of it and like taking in the entire process and like watching something long form over and over again. Like that's kind of what I do. But we don't have to do that. We can also talk about it so far.
I was gonna watch this video again after this anyway. So yeah, I'm down to finish it. I watch things in big chunks as well.
I've said everything I wanted to say like when I stopped the video.
I've been writing stuff down. Really, it's only one big thing I care about.
Yeah. 10 most critical people you know, make them watch the video and just roast it.
But another thing is that when we're talking about the intro and everything, we should still understand a bit of the process of the retention of the body.
Yes.
Like that needs to inform our decision on everything else. So we should watch it in its entirety.
I personally enjoy I enjoy having people watch the videos and watching them. There's some things you can do where like you basically pay people to watch the videos on frame and then just have them record it. And I love just seeing like when they pick up their phones and when they get bored and like, you know, certain things like if I just talk to a camera for 10 seconds without a cut, like a lot of people will just like get bored or they'll lose interest. So like having a B cam and a C cam and just, you can just talk for 10 seconds, but 3 seconds in cutting to a B cam and then a C cam. Like now it's more interesting, even though it's essentially the same thing and not that crazy. But you want to have good pacing. Typically having a payoff at the end keeps them, right? Last sleeve circle wins 10 grand. If there is a low moment halfway through, you're going to watch to the end because you want to see who wins the 10 grand. So having a good payoff at the end.
That's pretty much a masterclass in retention, right? Remove dull moments, get your videos roasted, see where people get bored while watching, and have a big payoff at the end. Interestingly enough, though, if you have longer videos, sometimes one big payoff at the end.
Dude, actually, she seems like she might have a background in education. I mean, she's an expert at this, about conveying this information. It feels like she has a professional background in education. Like she might have gone to like teaching college or something. Or maybe this is just stuff you learn elsewhere, but the strategies that she's doing right now, I recognize from my education degree.
Still isn't enough. Mr. Beast talks about it here.
It's very hard with a single storyline if you're doing like a double-digit minute video to just have that one thing grip their entire attention throughout the whole video and pay off at the end. So typically, if you're doing a longer video, you should introduce like a side story and like you should have some plan halfway through, like to re-engage them so they'll just get bored. You know what I mean? Like if I just said, like if I hand you a camera, I had a camera, it's like, okay, if he tags me, he gets 100 grand. And then I just run and that's it. It's just me running through the woods and him just running through the woods after me. You can't make a 15-minute video out of it. You know what I mean? But if I do that, and then like 3 minutes in, I pull a lever and a bear comes out and starts chasing him and he has to get away from the bear. I don't know. Obviously we wouldn't do this, but kill the bear. And then he starts chasing me. And then 6 minutes in, I jump across the lake. And as he goes to jump through, I press a button that shoots him to the moon, whatever. You know what I mean? Like now all of a sudden it's interesting and you're watching, right? And that's it, right? One is just a single story and it's boring. The other has side stories that like re-engage people.
If that seems like a lot of work to keep videos engaging, you are absolutely right. But hey, no one said this whole YouTube thing would be easy. The good news though, is that once you have people engaged, you don't have to try as hard for the rest of the video because they're already invested. Mr. Beast talks about this effect here.
What's interesting is the longer people watch something, the more likely they are to keep watching. So you don't have to try as hard in the hypothetically back half of a video as you do in the front. Like even right now, we're so deep into this where a lot of people listening are probably just going to keep listening relatively close to the end unless we just have a really boring part of this conversation because they're just in it. They're immersed.
I am immersed.
And so
I was immersed the first time I watched
really
this.
boil it down to a simple level, you just want to get people where they're immersed in the content and then just kind of hold them there.
So to get a Mr. Beast approved video, have a fantastic hook, remove every dull moment, have a big payoff, and implement side narratives to get your videos up to 70% retention. But why does this retention matter so much? Why is hitting 70% so much better than say 50? Well, it boils down to what YouTube wants. I'll turn it over to Mr. Beast to explain here.
So at the end of the day, if you boil it down, what YouTube wants is they want people to click on a video and they want to watch it. Like at its core, that's what it is. Now you can like draw little lines and go as deep as you want into how to get people to click and to how to get people to watch. I mean, essentially.
So this right here, JC, this is a great comment. By the way, hey Kenny, you got an ethnic brother here. JC has just informed us he is also a white Mexican like you. One of them Criollos, was that what it was called back in the day? I'm sure Kenny doesn't actually know.
I don't know what it's
I'm
called.
kidding. I love you, Kenny.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's called a dirty Mexican.
No, I'm talking about the caste system, the encomienda system.
No, I don't know what it's called.
Right, you don't know your own history. Got it. Right, you're a freaking Sorry, but you're also half Spaniard though, right?
You're a disgrace to your conquistador ancestors.
Yeah,
It's not my fault.
This
Ancestors
is still
are
a
rolling
cultural anthropology show, so we still talk about that. But yeah,
we can't watch a Mr. Beast video without talking about the conquistador.
I know. But JC said, crazy how people think successful career YouTubers have it easy and get paid to do nothing. I mean, so that's key there, is because if you're doing it really well, it doesn't seem like you're doing all that much, even though there's so much detail going into it, right? It can, like, I look at some of my early shorts, and even at the time I was putting these early shorts out, I don't know if you saw them, but like I looked at them and I was like not super happy with the finished product, but I was like, I have to put them out and test it because I don't know how to do this better. Even though I thought they looked like, I don't like the way they look. I wasn't super happy to put them out, but I knew that I needed to put them out for the growth. They just looked very disjointed to me. They weren't very, there was too much going on. Nothing blended very well. But I learned through doing those things. And when you're at the point where you're making something, it does seem effortless until you start paying attention to these types of things. But before I did, that was true. Frenchie says, I have some Asian blood. Do you know Mongolian spot?
Yes, Mongolian spot. You could be Asian or you could be Mayan.
What do you mean spot?
Mongolian spot is some, well, look, it's on people in South America as well.
It's like when.
Yeah, but people in South America are descended from Asians.
It's like when they're born. There's like they have like a little bruise or something on their butt or something like that.
Yeah, blue, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's a weird thing, but yeah.
It looks like a bruise. Yeah.
Oops. But also, like, I'm Hungarian. I'm a quarter Hungarian, and I think that makes me a little Asian. I've said that to people before. I've said that to no. Hungarians are not ethnically. They're ethnically just like the people around them. Don't tell a Hungarian that, but the culture and the language is descended from the elite class that had taken over the area. So that's what they assimilated into. Crap. Oh, here we go. But yes. And then Dan is married to an Asian woman. And I lived in Asia. I lived in Indonesia in 5th and 6th grade. And then Kenny's a white Mexican, and here I am, 3/4 Irish and 1/4 Hungarian, just out here freeballing it as a periphery white. Yeah. But Dan's an Anglo. Dan's a freaking Anglo. Pure blood. Okay. Keep going.
I'm a thoroughbred.
You'll learn that you're more steady.
You're what?
I'm a thoroughbred, yes.
No, I said pure blood.
Yeah, but I am also a thoroughbred.
Okay. Whatever. Freaking
Human psychology, right? What do humans want to watch? What do they find enjoying? Not because anytime you say the word algorithm, just replace it with audience, and it works perfectly. Like the algorithm didn't like that video. No, the audience didn't like that video. Now, because literally that's it. If people are clicking and watching, then it gets promoted more, and that's all. That's literally all the algorithm does, is reflect what the people want.
So that's why a high retention matters, because if on average people are watching 70% of your videos, that sends a strong signal that, hey, people really like this video, and this video should get recommended to more and more people, because on the balance of probability, they'll probably like it. So that's how Mr. Beast approaches the YouTube algorithm. He doesn't spend a lot of time diving into each and every teeny tiny little detail. In practically every one of his interviews, he's said that all YouTube wants is for people to click on videos and watch them. And that's truly what he focuses on. So there, definitive proof that you don't have to spend countless hours diving deep into the inner workings of the YouTube algorithm in order to be successful on YouTube. According to Mr. Beast, the only things you need to worry about are Are people clicking? Are people watching all the way through? And do people keep watching more? And if you're struggling with any one of these components, that's okay. Mr. Beast did too, but everything changed when he got himself some creator friends. Take a look.
Most of my growth came actually after I graduated high school. Basically, what I did was I somehow found these other like 4 lunatics. 3 of us were college dropouts. One was a high school dropout, and one, I don't know, he just like quit his job. We're all super small YouTubers, and we basically talked every day for 1,000 days in a row and did nothing but just like hyper study, like what makes a good video, what makes a good thumbnail, what.
Exceptional. And Daniel, this is one of the things. What he's talking about right here is part of inspiration for Prosperous Parrots and for these streams, because I want the 3 of us and other people as well, like other guys that we have. By the way, I don't know if anyone listening is an entrepreneur, but we are launching Prosperous Parrots, which is my next venture, which is related to the entrepreneurship type stuff we talk about. And if you'd like to join that Discord, just send a message. I don't have the link for it, but Dan does. And he should throw it in the link below to join. But if that's something that you do, this is what we talk about. And we got a couple other guys in there, Josiah, who's a car salesman we met at a conference and everything. But, and again, the goal of that, I mentioned it early in the video, but if you weren't here, is entrepreneurship to live the life you want to live rather than for an end goal. So yeah, let's keep going.
What's good pacing, like how to go viral. And we just call it like daily masterminds. We would just get on Skype every morning. And like some days, like I'd get on Skype at 7 a.m. and I'd be in the call until like 10 p.m. And then I'd go to bed, I'd wake up, and I'd do it again. And, we'd do things like just take 1,000 thumbnails and see if like there's a correlation to the brightness of the thumbnail to how many views it got. Or like, like videos that get over 10 million views is like, how often do they cut the camera angles, or like things like that. Like we were very religious about it. And so that's where most of my knowledge came from, is I just surround myself with these lunatics, and just every day, like we didn't do anything. We had no life.
But everybody had sort of a similar vision.
Yeah, exactly. So we all had like 10, 20,000 subscribers when we met. And by the time we stopped talking, we all had millions of subscribers. And we all hit 1 million subscribers like within a month. It's crazy, because it's like, if you envision a world where you're trying to be great at something, and it's just like you mess up, you learn from your mistake, you mess up, you learn from your mistake. You in 2 years, might have learned from 20 mistakes. Where if you have like 4 other people who are also messing up, and when they learn from the mistake, they teach you what they learn, stuff like that. Hypothetically, you 2 years down the road have learned like 5 times more of the amount of stuff. So it just like helps you grow exponentially way quicker.
Every time Mr. Beast has been asked in interviews how he grew on YouTube or what factors most contributed to his success, he always mentions his creator friend group. And when it comes to the impact that those friends made, well, listen to Mr. Beast.
Just all along the way, the friends that I hung out with had such a dramatic impact on where I am. Like I'd probably have 80 million less subscribers, if I wasn't so strategic about hanging out with people that I add value to and they also add value to me.
Even though Mr. Beast was hyper obsessed with YouTube from the very beginning of his YouTube journey, he still attributes the majority of his success to being surrounded by other smart YouTubers. So there you have it. If you're trying to go at this whole YouTube thing alone, you're putting yourself at a severe disadvantage. So if you don't have friends, make friends. God, I need to make some friends. The last main takeaway I'll share from binge watching countless hours of Mr. Beast interviews goes out to all my fellow small YouTubers out there, because Mr. Beast has some advice just for us. And honestly, it really changed the way that I think about YouTube. There's no visual for this one, but take a listen.
The best way to get views, in my opinion, I think it's better to really, really focus on quality if you're a very small YouTuber. And you can upload a video a day and like all the videos be average. And like none of those videos will really stand out. None of it's like epic enough where like the algorithm's gonna go, oh, this video is good. Like we need to spread it. I feel like a lot of small YouTubers, they just post like videos that aren't bad, but they're not great. And they just do that. And none of them ever pop off. So they never get an audience, where it might be better to like, upload half or a third or even like a fifth of the videos, but make the videos you upload so freaking good that like the algorithm has to promote it, and that it has to find audiences for it, because it's such an interesting and good video. When you like set a consistent schedule and you're constantly having to upload videos that aren't as good as you'd like because you got to hit, oh, this Monday I said I'd upload every Monday, like that's a dangerous trap, because then the viewers notice that the quality isn't as good and it makes them less likely to watch, and I think it hurts your longevity.
Dang, doesn't that just hit so hard?
I gotta play that again.
That aren't bad, but they're not great, and they just do that, and none of them ever pop off, so they never get an audience, where it might be better to like upload half or a third or even like a fifth of the videos, but make the videos you upload so freaking good that like the algorithm has to promote it, and that it has to find audiences for it, because it's such an interesting and good video. When you like set a consistent schedule and you're constantly having to upload videos that aren't as good as you'd like because you got to hit, this Monday I said I'd upload every Monday, like that's a dangerous trap, because then the viewers notice that the quality isn't as good and it makes them less likely to watch, and I think it hurts your longevity.
Dang, doesn't that just hit so hard? If you don't know, I am a small YouTuber and I'm on this crazy challenge to get my channel monetized within 90 days. I'm currently on week 2, and prior to this Mr. Beast interview binge, my game plan to reach my goal was—
You know what, dude? We should do a challenge like that. Especially with us doing these streams, we should do a challenge where we try to get me, like Illegitimate Scholar, 90 days will be monetized. Definitely. Like it's the numbers, unless like I stop putting out videos. But like we should do one where we try to get Prosperous Parrots, Illegitimate Scholar, and Jurassic Poppy all monetized in 90 days. And I bet we can do it.
What if we streamed every day for however many Mr. Beast videos there are, or something like that, right? And went through each video and talked about what we're doing. Something akin to that. He talked about his friends doing the 1,000 days, like over 1,000 days. They talk every day.
Yeah,
that's what Mr. Beast did. She's talking about she did the 90 videos, or I'm sorry, she did all of the videos, and she's doing it in 90 days.
Yeah, write that down. We'll come back to it, but let's talk about that later today or tomorrow.
To upload 3 long-form videos per week. That way, I'd get a ton of videos in, a ton of reps in, and have a greater chance of one of my videos popping off. But now, I don't think it's smart to think of YouTube from a purely numbers game. I might be a bit overconfident here, but I don't think my videos are bad. That being said, I don't think they're knock your socks off fantastic either. In his interviews, Mr. Beast frequently emphasized the importance of a large number of uploads. But it's not just about uploading videos. There's another key ingredient in there too, one that I was overlooking. Take a look.
All you need to do is make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that. And then on your 101st video, we'll start talking, like maybe you can get some views, but your first 100 are going to stop. There are very freak cases like Liza Koshy or Emma Chamberlain who have really good personalities, and it doesn't take them as many videos. And it's just like people who are 7'5" and making the NBA. Like, yes, there are freak cases you can find, but for the average person like us, who don't have these exceptional personalities and, backgrounds in filmmaking, just make 100 videos, improve something each time, and then talk to me on your 101st video.
Well, the improve something each time is the tricky one. How do you improve something each time?
The second one, just, I don't know, put more effort into the script. The third one, try to learn a new editing trick. The fourth one, try to figure out a way that you can have better inflections in your voice. The fifth one.
So that's the thing. Like each video, I was thinking of this the other day when I improved on the thumbnails, one video, and then I improved the next one, the intro, and I improved the intro and the thumbnails, right? And now the next video that I do, I'm trying to improve my keyword research to pick a topic that's better. And then that'll be another improvement. So I am absolutely, specifically from remembering this part of this interview that I've watched before, and applying that. I was applying this just recently. And it's working. It's fantastic. Improve one thing every time, because you're not going to put out the perfect YouTube video. It's like you have to put out this crap at first, and it's embarrassing because it's a garbage, and it made me feel stupid when I'm putting out these old shorts that I thought were absolute crap, but I kept putting them out. I didn't care. I even put them on my Twitter. I'm like, look at me, world. I'm trying to quote The Office. It's like, look at me. You bared your arms. Said, look at my blood, it's red. It's from this ridiculous scene. It's my favorite episode of The Office, where they're in the Chili's. But yeah, let's continue. Unless you have something to say.
I actually don't know even that episode of The Office. I made a note to go watch it.
Hell yeah, dude, it's a great one. You got to watch the extended version too.
Try to, study a new thumbnail tip and implement it. The sixth one, try to figure out a new title. There's infinite ways. That's the beauty of content creation online. There's literally infinite ways, from the coloring to the frame rate to the editing to the filming to the production to the jokes to the pacing to every little thing can be improved, and they can never die.
Oh yeah, what's up, Kenny? Go ahead.
Yeah. So my very first video too. It's honestly, God, I don't even go back, and I'm not gonna go back until like the 100th episode or something that I make, because I know for a fact that it's god awful, and that like it's just 8 minutes of me just straight talking with like this gameplay in the background, and I'm just going like you know, like all the way through. And I know it's awful, but like it's honestly really embarrassing. But yeah, like every video I've been trying to improve something, but I think I'm at a point too where I'm having this issue where I'm just trying to do too much at one time. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel.
I feel and because of that, it's like slowing down like, you know, I did originally have an idea to do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something like that, but like as I'm learning these things, it's slowing me down a lot.
Well, I think that's what he's getting at here is like every video concentrate on one thing. So I think what the best thing to do is to build out a process for creating the YouTube video, right? And then when you have that process, right, you know that everything you're doing in there is how you're going to do it. And then you don't second guess yourself on every single individual part. You have the way you do the whole thing, and then you do it that way, and then you reevaluate one or two parts. Right. So it's like each individual time you reevaluate a different part and you improve that part. And then the next time you do it, if that method worked and it did create results, then you continue to do it that way. And then you try a new one and then try to improve something else. And that's what I'm doing right now. And that's where I've gotten like that last video, the podcast episode, which is just me talking to the camera. Mostly I had some clips in there, which I think did help me out quite a bit, but
yeah, you added them in. I saw it. Yeah, I noticed it.
Yeah. So that but that was great for me. It was my first video that got like organically over 1,000 views. The one with Stone Age Herbalist got over 1,000, but that's because of his name recognition. That wasn't organic reach. But yeah, this new one is my 2,300. I'm very, very happy. And yeah, I mean, Dan knows because I was calling him like, dude, it's happening.
But yo, JC's right.
I saw that was great, dude.
JC in the comments is right. Like, don't think about it as being an embarrassing thing. It's not really an embarrassing thing. It's not really how bad you used to be. It's how far you've come since then. It's how much you've grown. It's all the things you've learned. It's all the things you've improved.
Yeah.
And I mean, sorry, go ahead, Kenny.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I'm fairly proud of like what I've done so far. I know there's plenty of things I can improve on. Like, the journey's definitely not done. But like one of mine has like 2,400 views, but I mean the big issue, like I'm not really proud of it that much because like the retention rate isn't high, you know?
But it's like you know what you got to improve on. Like you got to get that intro. Like I've seen them. Your videos are not bad. They're new, but I think that number one, there's a certain type of person, and JC is one of them, that just likes smaller YouTubers. Like JC as a listener, he's like JC is known throughout like the guys that I'm like friends with because he's always commenting there, and like people enjoy that. They enjoy like not so much of I mean there's a lot of people that enjoy not so much of a polished product. It seems too corporate sometimes. I mean, I'm that way with certain things, right? There's certain pages I don't watch because of their type of production, even though I recognize that it's very high quality, but it's not exactly what I want. People want a little bit of rawness, and they also want to see your journey. They want to see like your videos improving over time. People are excited to be a part of that, especially when you have something like this where it's like the stuff I talk about is very personal, and like I really enjoy talking to the audience in the Discord and everything. I love having these conversations with people. I check it all the time. I always respond. I love doing it, and it's a great thing to do because but I've been explicitly told that that people like to see the journey growing. JC is a micro podcast hipster, 100%, dude. I mean, you actually are. You're everywhere in the like in multiple niches too. Like it's not like it's like loosely within the libertarian podcast sphere, but that stretches out into social conservatives and like guys like me. Like I'm socially conservative, but the show isn't necessarily socially conservative. It's loosely socially conservative, but I'm in that sphere. But like hippie ass, like spiritual dudes like me, like JC's in that shit too. He's everywhere. I don't know. He's an enigma, dude. But yes.
improve. There's literally no such thing as a perfect video.
Yes, we need to make videos. That's why we're here on YouTube, to make videos. But just as importantly, if not more importantly, we need to improve with each and every video. There's obviously a balance here. You don't want to wait for 3 months in between uploads because you want to get everything absolutely perfect. But at least for me, I realized that I was so obsessed with making new videos and keeping to my upload schedule no matter what, that I just didn't have the space and the time to improve with every video. Yes, I could improve small things here and there, but when every one of my waking hours is dedicated to making new videos, I don't have time to view my videos critically, to look at my retention, to see where people are dropping off, and do everything else that would dramatically improve the quality of my videos. So if you're a small YouTuber like me, I hope that that's the main takeaway from this crazy video. Yes, there are a million things that you can apply from Mr. Beast's advice, but the main one should be to keep making videos and keep improving with every video. And hey, if you want to follow along my YouTube monetization journey and see if I actually make it, I am uploading real-time weekly updates.
This is from 3 months ago. I'm sure she's monetized already.
What I'm experimenting with and all that jazz. If that's something that interests you, you can check out my most recent update here. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful.
Fantastic.
Give it a thumbs up and a subscribe if you can, and I will see you in the next video.
I liked it. I liked the video, as I would appreciate all of you doing if you haven't already, liking the video. That'd be great. Yeah, so this is her channel. 22 videos, much less than me, because I just shoot out videos like crazy. Oh, so I guess I had this is the I forgot. This is also the chick that I watched in order to learn my new intro that I executed and got me the recent video with 2,300 views.
Badass.
So yeah. Wow. Okay, she's great. We gotta I'm gonna bookmark her in like her channel into the Watch with Higgy folder.
Okay.
Okay, so we got a few more minutes. What do you guys want to watch for the few more minutes? Because you're leaving in 10 minutes, right, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to watch?
I would talk a little, I think.
Okay, let's just do that then.
There was something in there that I noticed that I think is super relevant for us and what we're doing with the documentary, right? So we're going to be looking at over 30-minute videos, almost certainly. And she was in there and she was using Mr. Beast's process. Obviously it's not his process, but she's using the process that she learned from him. She's using all the cuts. She's using text. She's using everything. She's doing her video right. And then she's cutting her video with these long, slower form interview content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't flow well. It just doesn't. Like I think the tempos don't match, right? Like you start out with this tempo, it's keeping you super engaged with graphics, with cuts, with audio stuff, and then quiet, long form conversation.
See, I actually like the way it's changed up because of the variety of it and the different vibe of the interview versus her commentary. It has a shift in the psychological way that I'm looking at the information, and that is good. So I actually liked that aspect, and I noticed it, and I liked it.
Interesting.
So hard disagree, but that's interesting in itself.
Yeah, it is interesting in itself.
She was. I felt like wasn't she? I mean, I was trying to watch what I could, but it felt like she was cutting out. Like her meat and potatoes was obviously the interviews that had Mr. Beast in them, right? Like, you know, it would be like I don't know how long she was talking. I started timing people I watch on YouTube, and like and notice like when they cut and then like when they'll show something else, you know, like the exciting part, I guess. And I guess it's usually about like 45 seconds to like maybe a minute and 30 of like one thing, and then it'll cut to something else. I don't know if she did that too, because she would like cut to Mr. Beast. I don't know how long she talked for. I wasn't able to time it or anything like that, but I noticed that she was doing that too.
Well, let's see.
Wait, let's see what.
I'm looking to see how long she talks between clips. Yeah, it seems like it's always less than a minute. I see it as short as like 5 or 15 seconds, and I see it up to like 50, 60 seconds. There might be some longer clips in here. Good point, Kenny.
Like what I'm, yeah. What I was just saying is like, you know, she knows she's not really like, she knows that her video's not about her, right? But people are clicking to see Mr. Beast, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, so she keeps her time short, but then she like goes to her.
Her time is short,
Mr.
but
Beast.
also effective. The
Yes.
time that she does use to talk, she synthesizes the information extraordinarily well, which is great. So it's you see the information, and then she synthesizes the important stuff down even further, which allows you and helps you to remember it better, which was great. Which is more of a tool that would be good for education videos, but it has applications elsewhere as well. Yeah. Anything else?
I'm looking here. I like what she said about, you know, just making the videos won't get you there. The hard work won't get you there, right? Like you have to be willing to change up your process. Hard work's not enough. I liked that, but that's not really related to.
This is an interesting JC. Since TikTok is so popular, what if you segmented a video essay to kind of mimic a continuous series of shorter segments? That's a really interesting idea. Like writing a YouTube video that's longer, but like is split up into sections that are their own thing. Like do an intro and then body sections that are as an exercise to like make them like their own separate thing, but then also a part of this larger thing. And then you can also release those videos as shorts, and then all of those individual shorts make up the greater video. I don't know.
Love it.
Yes, me too. That's a lot of work, but it is a cool idea. Oh, Dan's gone. He left. Okay, well that's okay. That's a good spot to end it. I'll talk to you later, Kenny. This was good.
I'll talk to you
Thanks for
later.
hanging out, JC and Frenchie, if you're still around, whoever else. I'm gonna come back and stream in a little bit some actual like some reaction content in a little bit.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no
See
worries,
you guys
man.
later.
We want to do this with you like every day.
Yeah, and I'm completely fine with it. It's just, you know, during like the middle of the day ish isn't really a good time, but
I understand. I didn't think
but
so.
I'll try to.
We'll figure it
I'll try
out.
to fix
We
it.
can
Yeah.
find a specific time that works for you. You have the most restrictive schedule. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye,
Later,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye, Benny.
Look
Love
out
you.
for another stream from me in an hour or two.
I will.